Welcome to this practice today. We're going to focus on our hips and our hamstrings and our legs today. So we'll start with a warm-up and then get going. So let's come to a standing position on your mat, and we'll bring our hands to heart center. Our big toes can come together to touch, and just spread your toes out nice and wide on your mat. So lift your toes, spread them out, and then a slight bend in the knees, just feeling your all the parts of your feet touching the floor. Of course, you'll have a lift in the arch, and engage through the legs, strong through the legs, bringing your tailbone down, and long spine. Tuck your chin down. Good. And then let's close our eyes, just connecting in with our breath right now. Breathing in and breathing out. Before we start moving, just taking a moment to feel our breath, feel how we feel right now, and check in with how our body, mind, and heart feels. On your next exhale, be sure to let go of every little last bit of breath. Exhale completely. Relaxing your hands down by your sides. Inhale, roll your shoulders up, relax them down and back. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, reach up with your shoulders. Exhale, letting them go down and back. Shoulder blades together. One more time. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale, roll them down and back. Nice. Let's just widen our feet a little bit, and a slight side bend over to the side. Your other hand is going to slide down your leg. Feel free to come in and out of the side stretch. And then when it feels okay, just hold and breathe. Good. Pressing into both feet equally as you stand. Engage through your core. Bring your lower ribs down and in. And then inhale, come back to center. Opposite hand reaches up and over. Come into your breath. Come in and out. And then just stay and hold. Feel the opening in the side ribs. Good. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Again, that's inhale, reach up with our hands, both hands this time. And then at hands at heart center, we're going to fold forward. Big bend in the knees. Really big bend in the knees. So our feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. And just allow yourself to hang. Your head is heavy. Shake out your head and neck. Grab onto opposite elbows and gentle rocks, forward and back, maybe side to side. Beautiful. Let your arms hang, shake out your shoulders, shake out your head, your neck. Just let everything go. Let all your stress and worries just float off of you towards the earth. And then feel your feet again, and we'll slowly curl up, one vertebrae at a time. Allowing the back to unwind, and then when you get to the top, inhale, reach the hands to the sky. Good. Reach from your feet. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice. Then from here, we're going to come into a tree pose. So just to open up the hips gently, first you're going to let your right knee go out to the side, and you can keep your toes on the floor if that feels okay, or you can place the foot in a different position. Try not to press on the knee, hands to heart center. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Tuck your chin down gently. Nice long spine. Breathe and come here. Come into the pose. If you are wobbly, you can put your hand on a wall, or you can have your hand on a chair. So for the next pose, you'll need that if you feel wobbly right now, but I'm going to challenge you to come in and out. If you fall, come back in. Take a couple more breaths. Beautiful. Hands to hips, knee comes forward, extend the leg, and then slowly lower. We'll switch sides. So you're going to open up the opposite knee out to the side. Place the foot in the same position as you did on the other side. Holding your tree pose, coming into your breath. Steady your gaze. If you feel really wobbly, steady your gaze on something ahead of you. I like to gaze a little bit further ahead at the floor rather than the wall. And come into your breath. Nice. Slowly bring the knee forward, extend the leg, and then slowly lower. You can do that pose again, or I'm going to challenge you to the figure 4 balance. Now this is where you might want to put your hand on a wall or a chair. You're going to bring the foot across the leg above the knee, and then hands to heart center if it feels okay, or you can keep your hands on your hips or your arms out to the side. That even makes it easier. Hands at heart center is the most challenging, and then you can sit your tailbone back behind you, sitting back into, like you're sitting into a chair. Good. This is going, you're going to feel it in the outer hip here, and that's what we want. Breathing here. I love this pose because it's training for doing our shoes up. As we get older, we want to keep practicing that so that we can keep our balance our whole life. Beautiful. If you want to go deeper and you know how to go into other poses from here, go for it. Otherwise, just hang out here and breathe for a couple more breaths. Go a little lower, a little deeper if you can. And then we'll slowly come out, standing up with control. Let the foot come back to the floor. Good. You can shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to go into the other side when you're ready. So you have a firm foundation on your standing foot before you lift the other foot up. Good. If you needed a chair or a wall, adjust yourself so you can have that. Good. And then as much as you can, opening up through the shin so it's parallel to the floor, and then also have a strong foot. Sit your tailbone back, hands to heart center or other variations. If you want to be holding on to something, you can. But just like with tree pose, I'm going to challenge you to hold. If you fall out, come back in. Focus your gaze, focus your breath. You got this. Can you go lower? One more deep breath here. Nice. Inhale, standing up. Slowly let that foot come to the ground. Shake it out. Really good. We're going to come into yogi squat now. So you're going to turn your toes out to the side. And your heels are wider than hip width apart here. And then you slowly let your hips come down. Some of you, if you have a block, you can sit on a block. If coming down feels okay for you, some of you might have your heels off the ground, and that's totally okay. You won't be able to hold as long, but see if you can hold as long as you can. Press your elbows into the inner knees, palms come together at heart. Have a nice long spine, so feel your back. You don't want to be hunching forward like this. And so you want to open through the chest, open through the collarbones. Breathing here, everybody. So for those of you who are more flexible, you could open up one arm and then the other arm and hold this. You could also keep that bottom hand on the floor if that works better for you. For some of you, you could do a bind. What that means is the back hand wraps around, the hand that's in the front wraps around the knee, and you're going to have to rotate your forearm, and then see if you can grab onto your opposite hand. Take your gaze over your shoulder. Good. I know this is intense. Let's release, and then we'll do the other side. So for those of you who are just holding the yogi squat, you can take a break or come back in and hold in a different variation with your arms, or try the wrap. Good. Look over your shoulder. Breathing here. Nice. Hands back to center. And we'll just come into a hamstring stretch from here. So straighten the legs, bend the knees, fold forward. Just let that go, release. Nice. And then we're going to take a wider stance. So widen your feet as wide as you can, really, and then turn your toes in slightly, and then we're going to come into a deep side lunge. So for some of you, you might not be able to go as deep as this. Again, if you have a chair, you could hold on to the chair. You're going to lean into one knee, coming down as low as you can. Some of you might even start to lift the toes of your opposite foot. Good. And then, just like we did in yogi squat, you can bring your hands to heart center. And for some of you, you might even come into the bind again. So you're going to take that arm, wrap it around, find your other hand behind you, and open up. Beautiful. You're going to feel this in your inner thigh. That's what we want. Breathe here. Work at the level that you're at. One more breath. Hands come back into the center. You're going to walk into center and then over to the other side. The toes might come up, just like you did on the other side if that was possible, and then hands to heart center. If you want to go deeper into the bind, that's always an option. So you're going to wrap the arm around and see if you can clasp the other hand, looking over your back shoulder or towards your toes, your opposite toes. Beautiful. Come back through center, all the way into center. And then with your hands on the floor, turn your toes in. You could always hold on to blocks if you like, or something under your hands. Otherwise, take a deep forward fold here. Nice and deep. We're going to get into those hips a little bit more. So coming all the way up, pivot your toes to the front of your mat. Doesn't really matter which side. And then you're going to slowly bring your back knee down to the earth. If you want, you could put a blanket or a block underneath that knee. Your front knee is at 90 degrees. Inhale, reach up with the arms if that feels okay for you, or your hands can stay on your hips. Yes, breathing here. So what you want to focus on is pressing that back hip forward. Nice. Then we're going to bring our hands to the ground. Lean into your front leg. Hold here. Just a little deeper lunge. And then coming into half split. So uncurl your back toes. Lean back. Lift the toes of your front foot. And then just folding into that front leg. Breathing here. Your hands stay on the ground. And it's not about getting your chest to your thighs. It's about feeling the opening of your hamstring. Good. And if you want, you can come in and out. So lean forward, come back. Forward, back. One more time. Forward and back. Nice. Then from here, we're just going to come into a seated position. We're going to go to the other side, don't worry. So big toes come, or feet come right together to touch for bound angle pose. Your heels, you can bring them in as close to your body as you can. Interlace your fingers, wrap them around your toes. Sit nice and tall. Good. You can just kind of flap your legs for a little bit. And then close your eyes, come into stillness. Keep a nice long spine. If you feel like you're hunched, then I want you to hold on to your ankles, not your feet. Good. So you don't want to hunch back when you do this. And breathe. Nice. Release your hands. You're going to extend your right leg forward and keep your other foot in. And the sole of that foot can press into your inner thigh. The toes of your straight leg point up towards the sky. Turn your body towards that straight leg. And then a slight lean forward, coming into a deeper hamstring stretch here. Your hands can rest wherever they feel comfortable. And then as you exhale, can you go deeper? So we breathe in, and then we exhale, release. Inhale, you can lift, lengthen. Exhale, release. Good. Couple more breaths as we hold here, just opening up that hamstring. And then we'll slowly come all the way up. Bringing both feet in together. This time we'll do diamond shaped legs. So your feet are going to slide out a little bit further out in front. Maybe you can even roll open your feet a little bit so the ankles are open. And then inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale. This time we're going to curl into our feet as deeply as you can go. This time you can hunch back. So tuck your chin, curl in like a turtle. Breathing here. Inhale, come all the way back up. We'll switch sides. Extend the opposite leg with your toes up. We're going to turn our chest towards that straight leg. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold in. Again, go with breath. Relax your hands wherever they touch. Inhale, long back. Exhale, fold in. Go with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, go deep, deep, deep. Nice. And then slowly release up. Going into our lunge on the other side. So from here, you're going to bring your opposite foot forward. You will feel, I had the right leg forward on this side will be the left. Good. Hands to heart, or to hips. Good. Inhale, reach up if it feels okay to do so. And again, the back hip is slightly adjusting forward. Breathe here. Everybody relax your shoulders down. And then from here, we're gonna go into a deeper lunge. So bringing your hands to the floor, you can lean into that front leg a little more. Coming into half splits, relax your back toes. You can lean, actually you can keep your back toes curled under for this. Lean back, folding into that straight leg in front. Breathe. And we always have one side a little more open than the other, so if this side feels more tight or the other side did, just let it be, and that's your body, and everybody's body's different, and sometimes it feels great and sometimes it doesn't, and whatever it is, try not to judge it, just be with it. Good. Lean forward, and we'll do some forward and backs. Good. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, come forward. It doesn't matter if your movements are big or small. Exhale, back. One more time. Lean forward. Exhale, come back. Nice. Coming back all the way up. This time we're going to come into something called deer pose. So you're going to do your front shin bone is parallel to the top of or the side of your mat like I am, or to the top of your mat. Your other leg's going to come back behind you, and both legs ideally are at 90-degree angles. Sometimes tucking that back foot in a little more will prevent you from tilting to the side, because we want to try to maintain a tall spine. Okay, so at the back, so you can see me, my back foot could be at a 90-degree angle here, or you can tuck it behind. Okay, breathing here and holding. For most of us, this will be enough, but you also could work at folding forward or folding towards your front knee. So just like this, and breathing here. So deer pose can be even more intense than pigeon pose, but it's another variation that you can do instead of pigeon is deer pose. Good. Coming all the way up, we'll switch sides. You're going to alternate which leg is in front with the shin bone parallel to the top. You also want to have an engaged foot, so not a floppy foot. Make it engaged. Your toes are reaching towards your knee, and then the other leg is behind you. Either the foot is tucked back or at a 90-degree angle of that knee. Good. Inhale, lift the spine, and then you can just stay here because it's enough, or you can work at folding over that front knee. Breathe here. Nice. Coming all the way back up. We're going to do a pose that isn't very comfortable in the body, but it's a big opener for the hips, which is our focus today. So coming onto your knees to start, this is called frog pose, and you're going to make your knees go out as wide as you can, and you're going to turn your back toes out to the side. So for some people, turning the feet out like that doesn't feel good, so then don't do it. Okay, so you're going to turn them out as much as it feels comfortable, and then sit your hips back just slightly, and then your elbows come down to the earth. From here, we're going to breathe. So this is a pretty intense one. We won't hold very long. Focus on your breathing. Allowing the hip, you might want to adjust where your knees are if you start to open up more, so your hips can open up. Adjust where your knees are. Try to relax into it. Soften your breath. Beautiful. So when you come out of this, come out very gently. Your hands are going to come to the floor. You're going to slowly walk your knees in towards each other and just sit on your heels for a rest. Good. And then we're going to come onto our back. So from here, I'd like you to bring your soles of your feet together again, just like we did earlier, and then just come onto your backs. So allowing the knees to fall open. This is a nice passive opening of the hips. Your hands can rest on your belly, and just come into nice steady breaths here. Can you relax your whole body onto the earth? Your head is heavy, your shoulders are heavy. The hips are heavy. The knees are falling out to the side, nice and heavy. And just allow the feet to rest. Holding on to your knees, just bring them in towards each other. And then we'll do another figure four. So you're going to bring your ankle above the opposite knee. And just like we did standing, you're in that exact same position. So for some of you, maybe taking your hand onto your knee and just applying a bit of pressure is perfect. Or you can lift your leg up and then hold onto the back of your thigh with both hands. Drawing the legs in towards your chest. Breathing here. And this might not feel very good, or it might feel fantastic. You just have to see how your body feels. I know I have a tight right hip, and so this, I can feel it a bit more than if I was on the left. And try to also have your feet engaged as well, so you're not floppy feet. Good. And then we'll switch sides when you're ready. So let that foot come down. Take that other leg, just shake it out, and then we'll cross the other foot. Again, activate the feet, and then draw the other leg in towards your body by holding on to the back of your thigh. Breathing here. Nice. Let's release our feet to the floor. We're going to bring both knees into the chest now and gently rock side to side. And you can hold onto your knees and just draw circles in one direction. And then circles in the other direction. Good. And then from here, taking time to come into your final Shavasana. You could come into a relaxed position just like we did earlier with your feet together and your knees out. You could bring your knees together and your feet go out to the edges of your mat. Or you could just come into a full lying position. Whatever variation you're coming into, close your eyes. Soften your entire body on the mat. Yoga is this beautiful practice that allows us to connect our body, mind, and heart. So I'm going to encourage you to stay here. Count up to 10 breaths, breathing in and breathing out. I want to thank you for joining me in this practice today. Continue to relax. Continue to spend some time in stillness. We need it every single day, not just in sleep. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Namaste.